Welcome to The Sports Answer with Rudy Campos Jr. From the latest NBA news to the gridiron and beyond, we are diving deep into the headlines that matter most to you. Today's show is proudly brought to you by Salem Surround San Antonio, your local experts in digital marketing and audience connection. Before we break the huddle, do me a huge favor. Head over to YouTube and subscribe to The Answer Now TV. Don't miss a single highlight, interview, or heated debate. The clock is ticking, and the game is on. Let's go.
Hey, good Sunday morning, Sports Answer fans. Rudy Campos Jr. for the Sports Answer. Shout out to Salem Surround, 210-526-3635, proud sponsors of us here on the Sports Answer. If you want to catch the Sports Answer as well as the Sports Answer Friday Drive that just aired live again on Answer Now TV, be sure to go to Answer Now TV on YouTube, hit that subscribe button where you can get the Sports Answer, which is our Sunday show, plus the Sports Answer Friday Drive, which is every single Friday. It's myself and Derek Irvin. We had our first show this past Friday that was live in studio. But don't forget, you also get Spurs in Focus, Jeff Garcia's new show on Answer Now TV. The network is growing. We've got plenty more shows coming for you out there. But be sure to subscribe, Answer Now TV on YouTube. And again, shout out to Salem Surround, 210-526-3635. Your digital marketing needs, your brand need to be a champion. You contact Salem Surround. If you can't get a hold of them on the phone, go ahead and go to their website, salemsurround.com/San Antonio, for all your digital marketing needs. How is everybody doing out there on a Spurs playoff / fiesta day in San Antonio? We haven't been able to say that in quite a while. Playoffs and fiesta. Yeah, it's been a while. We've got a poll sponsored by Salem Surround. We're going to be putting up there. The way you can do this is go to the comments, drop a comment. You can drop a 1, a 2, a 3, or 4 for your vote. And the question for today, our poll question is, how do you see the Spurs versus Blazers going? Is it Spurs sweep, Spurs in 5, Spurs in 6 or 7? I hated that trend. Or do you see the Blazers winning this series? Drop your pick in the comment. All you got to do is go to the comment section. All you got to do is hit 1, 2, 3, 4, and it'll read it on there. So again, that is our poll question here on the Sports Answer. We'll put that up here just a little bit again, but we're going to get into some NFL talk. We got the draft coming this week. Thursday's the draft. We're going to provide a little bit of draft coverage for you all out there. We figured this would be the most active draft trade-wise prior and during the draft. I expect maybe 6 trades to happen during the draft. The Dexter Lawrence move that did happen that we're going to be talking about happened yesterday. I expect when it comes to the Dallas Cowboys, I'm really feeling Dallas is going to move up into the draft. A lot of talk with Cleveland, possible talk with Tennessee as well for them to going up there. They've even had rumors and talks about them moving up with the New York Jets as well as the Arizona Cardinals. So could Jerry have something in his back pocket? We're going to see this Thursday. I really feel that they do make a move to try to get into minimum the top 6. I could potentially see them maybe in the top 2 or 3 to get one of the defensive players, whether it be R.L. Reese or possibly Bailey out of Texas Tech. What do you Cowboy fans think out there? Do you think Jerry makes a move? But as far as NFL trades go on the draft, I fully expect a lot of trades to happen this coming Thursday when the NFL draft does kick off. But let's get into some NFL talk. Again, you can see the poll right there. The way to answer the poll is going to be you go to the comments, you drop a 1, 2, 3, or a 4 for your vote. And our question for the poll is, how do you see this Spurs Blazers game going? Or not the game, this series. Do you think the Blazers have a chance in winning? Or, pick which game you think the Spurs are going to win. Is it going to be a sweep, them in 5, or Spurs win in 6 or 7 games? I did take the Spurs in 5, but nonetheless, we will get into that. That is your poll question of the day. We'll put it back up here in just a little bit. The way to answer, the way to vote, go to the comment section, drop a 1, a 2, a 3, or a 4. That way it does register your vote here on the Sports Answer. We are talking NFL draft coming up. And as you can see, the New York Giants and the Bengals, they did have a trade yesterday, sending the Giants sending Dexter Lawrence to Cincinnati. In return, they get a first round pick, the number 10 overall first round pick in this year's NFL draft. Give you the Giants the 6th pick and the 10th pick, if I'm not mistaken. It's 6th and 10th. Yeah, 6th and 10th pick, if I'm not mistaken there. Dexter Lawrence is a difference maker. He's going to make Cincinnati, he's going to make them better, obviously, on the defensive side of the ball. But was it an overpay? I mean, you're getting Dexter Lawrence, who initially has, I think, 2 years left on his contract. He's older, obviously, than anybody you can get in this NFL draft. Do you feel you can get somebody as good as Dexter Lawrence at 10 when it comes to the Bengals? Probably not, in your opinion. You want an impact now player. You want a player that can make a difference now. I get the trade for Cincinnati. I totally understand that. They are in a win now situation. They've got, one of the best quarterbacks in the league in Joe Burrow. They've got arguably one of the best, if not the best wide receiver in the league in Jamar Chase. So I get you're in a win now situation. Could you find a player better than Dexter Lawrence at the number 10 spot? Probably not. So I understand the move by Cincinnati. What I don't understand is if you can't keep Dexter Lawrence for a longer period of time, say his contract ends up and he ends up walking in 2 years, then it was all for nothing. It was in a win now situation. If you don't get that Super Bowl win, then it's tough. It's a very, very tough case to make for Cincinnati. Look at the AFC. I mean, obviously you saw the decline of Kansas City, which they could be back on the rise coming next year. Well, when Patrick Mahomes comes back. I mean, I doubt he's going to be back anytime soon. But you're going to have to deal with Kansas City eventually. The Chargers are on their way up. Let's not, neglect this team here. As bad as they've been and are, the Raiders are on the up and up, especially after this draft when they get Mendoza. They did make a lot of free agent signings that are going to make a huge help for the Raiders and Mendoza. But let's not forget Denver Broncos. I mean, one of the top 2 teams in the AFC. Plus, you got the New England Patriots. I mean, there's a lot of teams better than Cincinnati right now. Moving with Dexter Lawrence, getting him, I'll give it an A minus. A lot of people ask, is it an overpay? That's the tough part. It's tough to answer that part because we don't know if Dexter Lawrence is long term, if he's going to stay in Cincinnati beyond the 2 years that's left on his contract. If he does, then yeah, I think it's a win, big time win. But you're talking about a win now situation. Do you think it was an overpay? That's the question I've got. Do you think it was an overpay? Personally, me, I think so. I don't know if Dexter stays beyond the 2 years that he's on his contract for. I sure hope he would. Maybe they do get an extension done. He stays there for a while. But now you look at the other side of everything, the Giants. Sitting at 6, getting number 10. They've only got 3 picks total in the first 3 rounds. You're talking about Harbaugh, who's going to be rebuilding a very nice Giants team. Jackson Dart, QB. Malik Neighbors, your number 1. You still have a formidable defense, a force to be reckoned with. Now, there are rumors that Kayvon Thibodeau might be on the move as well. That would hurt them a whole lot. But again, if you're able to stockpile draft picks and get a really nice package for Thibodeau, yeah, I mean, you almost make the move. Right now, on paper, the Giants are what they thought they are what they were last year. They're good. They're competitive. Playoff team, possibly. When Harbaugh got signed, I immediately said the Giants are a playoff team. After moving Lawrence, I'm kind of back a little bit, but I want to see what they do in the draft. We ran a mock draft for the New York Giants after this trade. They were able to get Jeremiah Love to pair up with Cam Scatterbo, the most explosive player in the draft, going into one of the youngest and probably soon to be explosive offenses in the league. Then at 10, you go and get an edge, Ruben Bain Jr., who's had a lot of questions, a lot of concerns, short arms, off the field issues, a lot of concerns. Well, Harbaugh takes a chance on him. No matter what he's got going on off the field, no matter if he's got the so-called short arms, Ruben Bain Jr. has proved that he can be a player and that guy when it comes to playing football. So not a bad guy to potentially replace Dexter Lawrence with. But it's that 37 pick, that third pick that they've got in the first 3 rounds. To get round 1 talent and to shore up a cornerback room with Avion Terrell, I would say if this is the way the Giants were able to draft, if this happened, you give him an A-, I give him an A. I give him an A. I like this draft if this is the way it turns out for the Giants after that move. Could they go different ways? I mean, I said they had the 6th pick. I'm sorry, they had the 5th pick. But at 5, I mean, you can easily pair up Neighbors with another receiver. You can go Tate. I think Jordan Tyson falls a lot in this draft. But you could go Tate at 5. I mean, you could get another offensive lineman if you wanted to. You could go back-to-back defense. Bain is there. I mean, you can maybe go Caleb Downs at 5. I maybe even a Bailey, or I don't think Reese falls, or maybe Bailey's there. You can go Bailey Bain. I mean, you could really make this defense really, really scary. You could go, I mean, Sonny Styles is another guy that you could probably get there, and linebacker. So this mock draft is one that I love. I like it a lot. But if you're personally asking me, I'm going defense for the Giants. You've already got a quarterback. You can come back around and get a running back if you really wanted to. But I know Giants fans are thinking, well, if Jeremiah Love's there at 5, you may want to take him. You can't really trust Cam Scatterbo. And not trust him as far as player goes or impact. You can't trust him to stay healthy. He's a barrel. He's barreling everybody over. You know, the likes of Jerome Bettis and, you know, hard-hitting guys just like that. That's what you're doing with Scatterbo. The concussions, you know, the injuries. They're probably going to stock up with him. So I can understand Jeremiah Love at 5. I'm not complaining about it. If they go that route, yeah, take him. If he's there, take him. I don't think Jeremiah Love falls below Tennessee at 4. I think the Titans do, even though I would prefer the Titans to go defense or offensive line to help Cam Ward. I think they would maybe go Jeremiah Love. But if he's there at 5, I'm okay with the Giants taking him. Me personally, I'd like to see defense. Because the Giants' defense was already good. They were already on the rise. But adding 2 impact defensive players with the first 2 picks, both of them in the top 10, that would pretty much put the Giants over. You can maybe get a back on 37. I mean, you can maybe get a receiver at 37. You're still going to have, you know, a lot of great receivers at, you know, 37. But as of right now, the mock draft that did come out, Love at 5, Bain at 10, Avion Terrell at 37. Wow, first-round talent, getting him at 37. That's the reason why I say, you know what? At the end of the day, this win goes for the Giants. They both get an A, in my opinion. The trade gets an A on both sides. But I think the Giants want a little bit more. They want a little bit more. Because now you've got 2 picks within the top 10. Couldn't ask for anything more than that. Was it overpay? maybe so. But when you're in a win now situation, it's probably not overpay. You're trying to get to that Super Bowl in that Burrow, Jamar Chase window. Salem Surround 210 526 3635. We got our poll question. See all you, everybody in here. Appreciate everybody joining us here today. Poll question right here is, well, it's just like that. How do you see the Spurs versus Blazers going? 1 is for Spurs sweep, 2 is Spurs in 5, 3 Spurs in 6 or 7. And number 4, you see the Blazers winning the series. How do you vote? You go to the comment section. All you have to do is drop a 1, 2, 3, or 4. Whatever number you drop in there, that is how the vote comes across. So please get out there and vote. Rock the vote here on the Sports Answer. We asked the sports question. Give us your sports answer. How do you see the Blazers Spurs series going? The way to vote, go into the comment section, drop a 1, drop a 2, drop a 3, drop a 4 for who you think is going to win this series between the Spurs and Blazers. NBA talk. We got a ton of NBA talk. So playoffs kicked off yesterday. We're going to get into a little bit of those games here. A little bit of not controversy, but I want to get y'all's opinion on the Kevin Durant injury. Let's get through that as well. I got to clear up some comments. This past week, I got cooked, according to what Jeff Garcia of Spurs and Focus says. I got cooked on X for the whole 65 game rule. And I'm going to, you know what? I'm going to even show the tweet here because I don't delete tweets. I don't have to hide anything. I don't have to say something and remove it. I'm not that guy or that girl, whatever. I don't do that stuff. I leave it up there because I said what I said, and I leave it at that. NBA talk. Playoff talk. Look at this playoff talk now. All right. First games first. Cavaliers, Raptors. You were hearing Derek Gervin and I this past Friday on the Friday Drive, the Sports Answer Friday Drive, part of Answer Now TV. We both took the Cavaliers. Derek made the yawn sign because this is a series that's like, it's kind of what I agree with him. And I told him I'm not overly excited for this series. I mean, it kind of is what it is. And I just left it at that. We both took the Cavaliers. I think I took the Cavaliers in 5 or 6. I think Derek took them in 5. And it shows. I mean, the Raptors without Quickly they're okay. They're okay. I know they've got Ingram, they've got Barrett, Scotty Barnes, but I think Cleveland is just way too much. Evan Mobley, put on a really spectacular show yesterday. Donovan Mitchell finished with 32. You got the surprise, Max Strus putting up 24 points, knocking out 4 3-pointers in the game. Harden with 22 and 10. Barnes did finish with 21, Barrett with 24. It just seemed like it was one-sided. And I know it's just game one, and I don't put a whole lot into game ones. You come out strong, but it's the adjustment part. I start looking at game 2. Do the Raptors make the adjustment? Do they make them tough? They did beat Cleveland in the season series for the regular season. So do I see the Raptors making adjustments and coming back in game 2? Yeah, I actually think they win game 2 when it comes to the Cavaliers and Raptors game. But, Cleveland came out strong. They came out great. It's one of those series I'm not fully invested in. It's just, I don't know, man. I mean, it's like Derek said, it's kind of a yawner for him in this series. Could go either way. Could be the Raptors, could be the Cavaliers. It's just not a very interesting series. And I hate to say that because I love playoff basketball. I love basketball in general. But I'm taking the Cavaliers again. Just to recap on it, Cavaliers did beat Raptors in game 1. 126 to 113. Moving on to the Eastern Conference side again. You see the Knicks and the Hawks. This was the game, again, I took Atlanta in 7 games. I think Derek took Atlanta in 6 games on the Friday Drive. We both took the Hawks. Now, I had a friend call me up, says, your Hawks pick isn't really looking good. I said, it's game 1. I took them in 7 games. I mean, I'm expecting the Knicks to win 3 games. So, but I mean, I'm not worried. Again, I don't put a whole lot into game 1s. Karl Anthony Towns, 25, 8, 4, 3, making 3 3-pointers. And, it was typical Knicks fashion. I mean, they played good. They were tied 58-58, and then they just went on a barrage after that. The Hawks, could it be first game jitters for the Hawks? I mean, yeah, I think so. For me, it was first game jitters. I mean, it's okay. They were in awe a little bit, and it's fine. It's totally fine. It's a young Hawks team playing against a Knicks team that has been in the playoffs already for a few years. I mean, they try to make playoff pushes. So I'm not really worried about the 113-102 win by the Knicks. Game one. It's how you adjust. How does Quinn Snyder adjust with these young guys for game two? Knicks fans, are you still feeling like this might be the year the Knicks make it to the finals? Beginning of the season, when Derek and I made our preseason NBA picks, I had Denver winning the title, but I had them beating the Knicks in the NBA finals. So I had Knicks and Nuggets before the season. I don't buy the Knicks making the NBA finals. Could they? Sure, they could. I don't buy them making the NBA finals. I recently changed my final prediction to Nuggets and Pistons. I love the Pistons, but right now, I mean, as much as I love the Spurs and I hope the Spurs make it to the finals, I wouldn't be mad if the Spurs did. But again, I took the Nuggets to win the NBA title before the season even kicked up, before he was in training camp. I took the Nuggets to win the NBA title this year. I won't stray away from it. I won't move around from it. I keep my picks until that pick is knocked out. But 102, 113, not shocked. I think maybe the Knicks can go up 2-0 on Atlanta, but I think Atlanta takes them the series tied 2-2 when they go back to Atlanta. Do I see Atlanta winning game two? Potentially. I potentially could see that happening. Again, it's all about adjustments. All about adjustments. Western Conference side here. We got the Nuggets and Wolves. I ain't gonna lie, when this first started, I thought, man, Timberwolves coming out strong the way that they have been against the Nuggets in past playoff series. But everything calmed down. Everything was chill. Everything was like Aaron Rodgers said, relax, relax. Nuggets come out on top 116-105. Nikola Jokic, another triple double. You guys want to go back, go to Answer Now TV. Look at our Friday show with myself and Derek, the Friday Drive. We talked a lot about Nikola Jokic. Derek went on to say that Nikola, there's two players that he's ever seen that he cannot find a weakness. And that's Nikola Jokic and Michael Jordan. Could not find weaknesses in their game. Do you guys agree with that? Do you agree with there's no weaknesses in Nikola's game? Drop those comments. Let us know. Because, yeah, Derek said it, and I mean, it's hard to disagree with him. He can dribble the ball. He can bring it up the court. Basketball IQ is top three. It's him, Magic Johnson, and Larry Bird. Top three all-time basketball IQs. I mean, we're even putting him above guys like maybe John Stockton. He can knock down the three. And people say defense. He can't play defense. That's his knock. He's a very underrated defender. He averages almost a steal a game. Just because he doesn't get block after block after block doesn't mean he doesn't know how to crowd the paint. Doesn't mean he doesn't know how to put his hands up, make it difficult. Just because you don't get a whole lot of blocks every game doesn't mean you don't know how to turn away shots, how to make shooters and players adjust when they attack the rim. I mean, he's a 7-footer. He makes it tough for anybody around the rim. So we can't really throw the defense just because he's not, flashy on the defensive side of things. Doesn't mean he's not a bad. He's not a bad defender. He can defend. What are his weaknesses? I'd love for y'all to point out the weaknesses. Check out that show with Derek Irvin and I, because you're talking about. I asked him, does he get up to Kareem standards? Does he get up into the GOAT talk with Kareem and Mike? Say he wins another title, maybe 2 more titles, another 2 more MVPs. I mean, that's going to have to be adding a 1C or the 1A, 1B conversation when it comes to GOATs. Nonetheless, 116-105. Nikola Jokic, 25-13-11. Does he win MVP? That's the other question we've got to as well. Last game of the night, LeBron James and the Lakers, 107-98 over the Rockets. 19 points, 13 assists, 8 rebounds, 2 steals. Shout out to Eddie Johnson of Sirius XM. Love him in Termini on Sirius XM. And, I see Eddie a lot on Twitter defending LeBron, defending LeBron against a lot of people. And for me, I've made it very clear, and this has nothing to do with anything. I've made it very clear. I was a LeBron James fan first Cleveland run. When he left Cleveland, went to Miami, I just felt like he became unwatchable. And not because of his play. Not because of his play. I just felt he became unwatchable because the antics started coming out. The flopping, hey, I'm getting away with travel. I'm getting away with double dribble. The game seemed to change when he went to Miami. That's when I became I don't really want to watch this guy a whole lot. But it has nothing to do with his gameplay. I've never said I don't like LeBron because, he's the all-time leading scorer. I respect the man's game. He's one of the greatest of all time. I respect the game. I give him his love, give him his flowers. He's one of the greatest of all time. Yes. I don't like the guy. Pretty much that's it. I don't like what he did to and does to the game. Doesn't even get hit, falls to the ground. You would have thought he got, beaten by 10 guys with a bat every time he falls to the ground. You look at the replay, there's nobody around him. It's the antics that made me stop liking the guy. Respect the game. I can respect the game. Just because I respect the game, just because I think that he's one of the best players of all time, yeah, I give him all the love on that. But I don't like the character. When he left Cleveland the first time, didn't like it when I saw it, what happened in Miami, what was going on. Just didn't like it. That's when, for me, the game of basketball changed, was at that time. Then you started everything else coming out. Hated it. 107-98. LeBron had a very good game. Luke Kennard, 27 points. I think it was the second highest or first highest debut for a player in the playoffs at 27. Do you get the same kind of production from Kennard knowing that Doncic and Reeves are out? Can we expect the same kind of production? I have to see. Ime Udoka's been there, man. He's a tough coach. He's going to know how to make these adjustments. I took the Rockets to win in 7, and I think Derek took them in 7 as well. But again, great game by the Lakers. One thing that did come up was before the game, Kevin Durant was out for game 1. According to Rachel Nichols, he bumped knees, or he had an issue with the knee Wednesday's shoot around, Wednesday's practice. Still was kind of tender. Okay. Derek and I talked a little while ago, and the first thing he asked me was, what did I think of the Durant injury? And I said, it's playoffs. It's game 1. If you've got injured on a Wednesday and it feels kind of tender on a Saturday, I can't speak because I don't know how difficult it was for him, but he was shooting around. Looked like he was moving okay. Looked like maybe a knee brace would have helped out a little bit more with, being a little more agile, getting a little more movement in there. But again, you don't want to talk bad about players because, hey, it's a knee injury. You don't know. Maybe from what we see and what we notice, maybe it was a little bit worse than what we thought, or maybe they just didn't want to chance it. I understand that. But when it's the NBA playoffs, it's game 1. You want to get off to a fast start. You almost have to suck it up and say, okay, I'm going to play, or I'm going to attempt to play. Not calling him soft, not calling him anything. But I'd say in game 1, you should make the attempt to play, man. Give it a shot. Give it a try. Your team lost by what, 8 points, I believe? That you don't need to score 30 or 40. 18 points is good, 19 points. But what it does is it attracts the defense to you. You don't have to do much, but knowing you're on the court, they're going to be more aware of you. They're going to have their eyes glued on you. Opens up the lanes, opens up the floor for everybody else in the court. Without KD, the Rockets just looked bad. They looked bad. And I'm sorry, Reed Shepherd, that's the project that I don't know I can actually get behind if I'm a Rockets fan. You know, I didn't like him coming out of the draft. I didn't have him as high as a lot of people did. Now the point, yeah, I run in the point. I don't. It's definitely a miss Fred VanVleet, definitely. But KD being out there for game one, just as someone to open up the floor, didn't need him to score 24, 25, 20, 30 points or whatever. Just being out there helps out a lot more. Takes the eyes off everybody else, puts them on you. That's kind of what we were talking about, Derek and I. Injuries, yes. Totally injuries. But at least give it a shot. Give it a shot. But we don't know exactly how bad the injury was. So he's out for game one. We expect him back for game two. Rudy Campos Jr. Again, Salem Surround 210-526-3635. Commercial break coming up. Let's put this back up on here. You've got your sports question of the day. How do you see the Spurs versus Blazers going? Number one is Spurs and sweep, 2 Spurs and 5, 3 Spurs and 6 or 7, or do you see the Blazers winning? The way to vote is you go into the comments. You drop a comment, and you either put 1, 2, 3, or 4. That'll get your vote on the screen here. Again, that is our sports question of the day. We'll put it back up here when we get back from a commercial break. On the way back, Spurs Chisme. You guys love it. I said something wrong, apparently, to offend everybody on X that dealt with the Spurs and Victor Wembanyama. We'll get into that. Plus, give our final thoughts on Spurs versus Blazers today. Rudy Campos Jr., Sports Answer. We'll be back.
You've been watching The Sports Answer, brought to you by Salem Surround. Salem Surround is proud to be San Antonio's premier digital marketing agency, offering a wide array of services like digital audio, email marketing, online reputation management, SEO, social marketing, and more. Visit salemsurround.com, San Antonio, and stay in the game.
So, like, I hear about the Spurs this y Spurs that, y como que esto y esta, pero I never hear about the real Spurs Chisme. Dime, por favor.
All right, your Spurs Chisme. Shout out to Salem Surround 210-526-3635. Attack on Portland. It starts today. Oh, yeah. Finally, we can say Spurs basketball, playoff basketball, and Fiesta is going on at the same time again. All is right. In the city of San Antonio, unless you're selling Spurs bracelets, then or you're not wearing a shirt, that's stuff we got to talk about on another show when it comes to the shirt thing. I will small take on that is I love that the teams, I love teams that put sports shirts out there for the fans to wear. It's togetherness, it's getting behind stuff. I totally get that, but I also see the other side of things where I've been a part, and you know what? I've been a real great big fat person my entire life. I've been blessed enough lately to lose over 250 pounds in the past, since 2020. So I'm not as big, but I do have, I'm still a fluffy guy. But when teams put out a large shirt or an extra large shirt, I know for a fact I'm not wearing those shirts. I can't fit into them. And I'm not going to squeeze my, 240-pound body into a large. I can try to squeeze it into an extra large, but it's definitely not a sight that I want to see. So I love the fact, but I also understand people can't wear them, because of size. I understand that. So if there's a way to correct, there's a way to get that. And my suggestion was, hey, what section are you in? Blah, blah, blah. Here's what size you need. We got, large, medium, large, extra large, 2X. But I get it. You try to save money. You want to put, hey, you know what? We're trying to save money. We're making them one size. It's the easiest way to do it. I understand it. It's a very tricky thing, but hey, if you want to wear the shirt, wear the shirt. If you don't, no big deal. No big deal at all. Drew Show is in here, man. Appreciate him joining. So KD faked an injury for Clutch Sports and Nikki. Total BS. Nothing I'm imagining, just a bruise he got on Wednesday. Y'all remove KD small from all top list. That is why Derek called me right before the show, and that's why he was telling me, hey, you know what? I don't buy it. He called it BS too. I mean, and that's the thing with KD's injury. I mean, you got injured on a Wednesday. It was a bruised knee. You got to at least attempt to play. I mean, just being out there makes a huge difference. Even if you're not jacking up, 20 shots, you're not scoring 30 or even 20, those 15 points, defense is going to respect you a whole lot more. So they're going to open up the floor a lot more. Love what you said, Drew. I mean, you're completely right. You completely get an agreement from both of us here. Sports Jam. This is why any and all t-shirt gimmicks like Sanders colors will never work. I love the comment. I'm the one that called myself fat. I said I was a great big fat person, and I really was for a long, long time. Again, blessed enough to lose over 250 pounds, almost 300 pounds is what I've lost. But I'm still a big, heavy guy. I cannot fit in larges. I cannot fit in an extra large. 2X is my comfort spot right now, but there's even some 2X shirts that I still have trouble fitting into and making them feel good. So I totally get it. And that's why I said there's got to be something, that gives the works away. But you know what? That's for them to say, man. Appreciate you joining me, Drew Show. Again, let me drop this up here for you guys out there. If you want to vote, let's like Drew in the comments. Drop a comment. Our sports question of the day. How do you see the Spurs versus Blazers going? All you got to do is go to the comment, drop one of the numbers. It'll register your vote there. 1 for Spurs sweep, 2 for Spurs in 5, 3 for Spurs in 6, 4 for Blazers win the series. Drop a number in the comments to get your vote in. Attack on Portland. So we're expecting Victor to have a monster game. He did not play against Portland in the regular season. Spurs were able to win 2-1 over the Blazers in the regular season. So yeah, I mean, I'm fully expecting Victor to have a monster, huge series there for sure. And as you can tell, Drew did vote. And as you can see, once you do make that vote, it shows up on the screen. So again, if you want to make that vote, drop your comment. All you do is drop a number in the comments and you can get your vote registered here on the Sports Answer. So again, Victor monster. Do we expect Victor to have, close to a triple-double in this series? No, I expect him to go for at least 27 points per game, maybe that 11, 12 rebounds per game. I expect 2.5 blocks a game. I expect him to have a monster series. Difference maker for me could definitely be De'Aaron Fox. I mean, I expect him to be a key. He's been getting a lot of hate from Spurs fans on some of these games, especially recently. I expect him to fully put all the hate to bed. He's been playoff tested, yes, with Sacramento. I don't think he's ever been out of the first round. It's going to happen this series. They're going to get out of the first round. Drew has him in 5. I've got the Spurs in 5. One guy to watch here, Julian Shimpagmi. If he can get going in this series, then I expect it to fully go the entire playoff run for San Antonio. In past playoff runs, in past championship runs, we've seen guys. Jaren Jackson was a big focal point for the Spurs during one of those title runs. Patty Mills, Gary Neal, Danny Green, guys that have made differences for hitting shots when they needed them the most. This is where Julian takes that mantle for San Antonio. He's going to get the love. He's going to get the respect from the defense, but he's not going to be a focal point. You've got a trio of guards in Harper, Fox, and Castle. You've got Wemby, Keldon coming off the bench. They're going to get all the eyes on them. Even Devin Vassell is going to be guarded a little bit closer. Julian should have a lot of open looks. if Julian's knocking down that shot and consistently knocking it down, it's going to be lights out for Portland pretty quick if he's consistent throughout this series. But it's going to make difficulties for any playoff team to beat the San Antonio Spurs. Julian is the one guy that I have circled that if he can get going and he stays hot for this playoff series, it's a finals run at minimum for the Spurs. But if they get to the finals, I don't see any team beating them, regardless if Julian Champagny is definitely hot from either beyond the arc or just gets going scoring. Spurs playoffs is playoff time. Make your predictions. Final time to make your predictions. Who's the guy that you want to see be the difference maker for the Spurs? Wemby? You have a big series? You have a huge series? Do you think a guy like Carter Bryant's going to make a difference? Do you think Denny Avdia has a big series? He was averaging 31.6 points per game against the Spurs, almost a triple-double against San Antonio in the regular season. No Wemby, so obviously it's going to drop some. They did not have Wemby playing for the Spurs. I think the Spurs are too balanced for Victor to average more than 25 a game, like the old Lakers 80s. I think fingers get tied to the court if they overcome it. You're right. And and Drew, I love that you said that, because let me put this out there for you. I got a little kickback, and even I had to tell Derek that I have Victor number 1 on my MVP voting. Then I had Joker. But again, I don't care if Joker wins. I have Shea 3. But what you said, it's the Spurs are too balanced for Victor to average more than 25 a game. I'm going to cut that right there, because here's the thing. I told Derek, and I told a lot of people, I put Victor 1 because he did more in less time. The Spurs didn't need him to play the 30-plus minutes that Shea played, that Nikola played. And I said, Derek said, well, I don't really can't go off of projections because what if this, what if this? And I totally get that. I used my MVP voting on projection. If Victor played the same amount of minutes as the other MVP candidates, those stats go up. But the Spurs didn't need him to play that kind of time. So that made a huge difference for me alongside Defensive Player of the Year. He played both sides of the court, and he was elite on both sides of the court. That's why he gets the nod for me at number 1 on MVP. I love what you said. The Spurs are so well balanced that they do not need Victor to be on the court a huge amount of time. But when he is on the court, they are a better team. I think Vets and Victor need to lead, and I expect big games from Fox, Big Killer. Yeah. This team is so well balanced. They're going to beat Portland. I got them in 5. I got to give Portland at least one game. And I told you, the one game I give them is on a Sunday at 2:30, which is game 4 in Portland. That's the one I think they end up winning. I mean, I even heard one guy say they could win today. I think Portland wins the first quarter today. I really feel that. I think they maybe are up by 1 after 1 quarter. Then it's just lights out after that. But those big games, yes, Fox, Vic as well. Keldon, I think Keldon has a really big game. I think he has a really big series coming off the bench. The one guy I feel maybe would struggle, this is just personally, I think Devin gets off to a very slow start, but he starts to get going. He starts to get going. He starts to start picking it up. I think it's off to a slow start. Everybody else, I think it's fine. But Julian, for me, is that difference maker. He's got to be that difference maker. Last part of the Chisme here, I want to clarify on something, and I'm going to bring it up here. So we talked about the 65-game rule. And this is part of the Spurs Chisme because I got a whole bunch of hate on this. I'm going to show the tweet that I made, and I'm going to have to explain myself because everybody came at me in comments. And I got called stuff that I can't say on the air because obviously, we can't say it on the air. But I got called some really mean and hurtful stuff, and it hurt no, it did not hurt my fans. I could care less what you say about me. I don't care. It doesn't bother me. But for those that were calling me the bad names and everything, you should really go reread what I said. Because once you understand it, you may look like a fool. And to me, that's fine. I'm going to bring up the tweet here because you saw the 65 game module here. This is what I said. So I'm going to bring it up full screen here. It says, let's be honest. So it come in, Sham Sharia says the NBA and NBA MBPA ruled that in favor of Lakers, Luka Doncic and Kate Cunningham on their extraordinary circumstance challenge for the 65 game rule, making both eligible for 25-26 honors. Okay. Kate had a collapsed lung. Yeah. Cool. Sweet. Got that. I totally understand medical wise. Kate has been playing all NBA all year. Luka's been playing all NBA and MVP all year. So my thing is this. Luka missed games for the birth of his child. I never will ever deny a player or anybody that. But he also had 16 tacks and got suspended for a game. That's on him. That one game made a difference. That one game kept him from being eligible to not eligible. That's on Luka. You got the 16 tacks, man. You got suspended. That's on you. For medical injuries with Cade, I can get behind that. So my response in my tweet was, let's be real honest. This rule has screwed Wemby out of awards the previous years. Why change it now to benefit other players? Tag Jeff Garcia did. I see your comments, Drew. I'm going to get to him here in a second. And then you got, I think you have to play at least 62 games to appeal it. Okay. The blood clot would have definitely been an extraordinary. And again, that Big Bone says that angers me. I got, but then you start getting into a lot of takes that, came at me. Wemby fans, the type of, you see that comment there. You don't get MVP for playing half the season. A lot of majority of the comments, idiot, he didn't play enough games that impacted his team. How many 47 games last year? Called an idiot. So again, I'm getting all the hate for what I said. But go back. Everybody's hating because of MVP. I never once in my post said anything about MVP for Victor. Keyword, awards. So go last year. Victor played 46 games. He had an extraordinary circumstances challenge. Blood clot. So because of the blood clot, which, let's be real, he tried playing through that blood clot before they actually shut him down. You get an E for effort. It's awards, had nothing to do with MVP. So you mean to tell me that you basically are telling me that, hey, Cade's cool, Luka's cool. Luka wasn't injured. He just had a technical, too many technicals, got suspended. He had to go for the birth of his child, but he wasn't injured. We'll give you the birth of the child stuff. But because Victor played 46 games last year, he should not have been Defensive Player of the Year. Screw the MVP talk. I didn't mention MVP. I said awards. He should not have been Defensive Player of the Year. He was the best defender all year. Through 46 games, he was the best defender. He would have ended the year as the best defender. He played at an all NBA level, minimum third team last year. But because of blood clot, because of the condition that he had, you're telling me that he's not even all NBA. Because of a medical circumstance, he doesn't get rewarded. But you want to change the rule this year. You had guys like Anthony Edwards. You've had guys in previous seasons that were not eligible, but still put up numbers to put them in the conversation. Why make the circumstance now for these two guys, which again, I'm okay with Cade. I'm fine with that. But you want to make the change now. For what? The NBA is so back and forth. I don't get it. Make a rule, stand by it. 58 games is all you need to play to win a statistical category. But yet you need to play 65 games, an additional 7 games to be all NBA or win any type of award. So clarification, everybody that was hating on me, reread it. Award. I didn't say MVP. I didn't say MVP at all. I said awards. He was Defensive Player of the Year last year. He should have won it his rookie year too. But he should have been Defensive Player of the Year regardless if he played the 65 or not. He would have ended the season still the best defensive player in the league. Don't make a rule and then make an exception without going back and fixing your mistakes. That's wrong. That's terrible. Do better, NBA. Do much better. You're looking bad. You're looking terrible for that kind of judgment. So again, for all y'all that came at me, congratulations. You didn't get a rile on me out of X, but I figured I have to explain myself because being called idiot and being called everything else, you may want to look in the mirror, read what I said, look at exactly what I said. Never was it MVP. Didn't think Victor played MVP caliber last year. But if you're going to make medical exceptions, make it across the board. Because now all you're doing is say, well, Luka did apply and he got it. You know, I had a family emergency and I was out for one game. That one game cost me awards, but it was a family emergency. I had to be there. You're going to tell them no? You can't now. You can't tell nobody no. So do me a favor. Go back to the drawing board. Maybe make it 58 games since all you need is 58 games to win a statistical category. Make it 58. That way, these guys, Luka and whoever, can get additional rest, can go do what they want to do, can go say, I'm out for this game. It backfired in your face. Now you want to go and change the rule. Make it 58. Make it simple. Make it easy. But you're not going to be able to get away from this one. You can't get away from this one. Because now from here on out, anybody could put in, you know, for, what is it? The extraordinary circumstance challenge. Well, I had this. I had this. I should be eligible. Do better, league. You got to do better. Do better, please. Appreciate everybody joining us here for the Sports Answer. Again, Salem Surround 210-526-3635. Salem Surround. Go to salemsurround.com/San Antonio for your digital marketing needs. They are the best in the business. They will get it done right the first time. They're going to get your business, your brand to the top of the mountain. That's Salem Surround 210-526-3635. Proud sponsors of us here at the Sports Answer. Appreciate everybody joining us here today. Again, shout out to the Drew Show. Join us here on a Sunday as well. Love you, man. Thank you for always participating on our live streams. We are live every single Sunday. Friday, the Sports Drive on Friday afternoon starts about 5:15. It's myself. It's Derek Irvin. Shout out to Jeff Garcia, Spurs in Focus. You can find all these shows on Answer Now TV on YouTube. Be sure to go to YouTube, search Answer Now TV, hit that subscribe button so you are not left out. Everybody enjoy the rest of the playoff games. Go Spurs, go. Do they get the win tonight? I think they do. Spurs in 5. I don't care what Shannon Sharp. What did you say? Lakers in 5? Well, Spurs in 5. See you guys next time.
You've been watching The Sports Answer, brought to you by Salem Surround. Salem Surround is proud to be San Antonio's premier digital marketing agency, offering a wide array of services like digital audio, email marketing, online reputation management, SEO, social marketing, and more. Visit salemsurround.com, San Antonio, and stay in the game.